Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Shauna Stitches podcast. I guess I should say welcome if you have not watched before, and welcome back if you have watched. So thank you so much for watching and coming back and watching if you have checked me out before. You can find me on Ravelry under Shauna Stitches podcast. We have a group there which you'll want to be a member of because we're having a giveaway, which I'll talk about here. So YouTube, if you're watching me on YouTube, please click the subscribe button. We're up to 229 subscribers now, and as I've said before, at 250, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And in order to qualify for that giveaway, you do have to be a member of the Ravelry group as well. YouTube, I'm also Shauna Stitches podcast. Ravelry group is the same, and you can find my personal page on Ravelry, which includes all of my projects I've done under Shauna825. I did mention that giveaway, and this is going to be all out of order today because, well, I can't really figure out how to make it in order. So for the giveaway, I still hadn't really decided on what I was going to do, but I think I'm going to do a project bag and maybe some yarn too, but if I do yarn, I haven't found it yet. So I decided to sew some project bags last night, and I think they came out actually really good considering I don't sew. So this one's really cute. Welcome fall. I think this one here will be the giveaway since it is fall. So that means click subscribe, people. I want to be able to give this away while it's still fall. And it has a little gold patterned fabric on the inside. It's just mostly white. So this opens up 3 inches. It's 8.5 across and 9.5 tall. So it's perfect for a sock bag. You could even fit a shawl in here. I think a small shawl, 2 skeins or less of yarn I think would fit in there. So that's going to be for the giveaway. So please, please, please click subscribe if you want to be notified of my videos, and also if you want us to reach the 250 for the giveaway, because I know I want us to. What else? Where can you find me? Oh, you can find me on Instagram, Shauna Stitches also. That's Instagram, Shauna Stitches, and I'll try and edit that out, but I'm not great at editing, so. So if I seem a bit out of sorts today, look a little tired or crazy, it's because I am. I've been very busy. Actually, I've been on vacation from work for the last week or so. See, today has actually been 8 days. And I, rather than going somewhere or relaxing and knitting a bunch, I actually had my 3-year-old nephew for the first 7 days of my vacation. And I know you guys don't know a ton about my personal life yet because we're still, getting into all that stuff as we go. And but I don't have any kids, and I really don't have any desire to have kids. Just not my thing. They terrify me, to be quite honest. Little people. So I had my 3-year-old nephew. His name is Baxter, and I was very nervous. Not necessarily that I couldn't do it, but in my mind I just jumped to the worst possible conclusion of what it could be, and I just envisioned constant temper tantrums and screaming and kicking and just not fun. But actually we had a pretty good time. We went to the park every day, and of course there's nap time, which I used for knitting, and just had some fun. So that's what I've been doing for the last 7 days. So I have not done a ton of knitting at all, but I still have a couple more days on vacation, so I plan on getting some projects done. Also, another reason why I'm kind of out of sorts is that I'm very excited. I just published my first Ravelry pattern, and that, if you've watched before, is called the Kiss the Partridge heel, and it's a short row heel, which I guess I'll talk about now. So this is going to go into my finished objects as well, so that I can show you. So I have finished my vanilla socks, and I don't know what I did with my blocker, so I'm just going to show you this way, but actually I'm going to find my blocker. Hold on. Okay, I found my sock blockers. They were not far away at all. So this is, as I said, the Kiss the Partridge short row heel, which is a design of mine. And there you can see what it looks like. So it's a combination short row and Eye of Partridge heel. The reason I wanted to design this was because I really like the look of the Eye of Partridge, but I just don't care for the thought of the heel flap and gusset and picking up stitches. That just doesn't sound like fun to me at all. So I was shocked and amazed that no one had created something like this before I thought of it, and decided to come up with a design. So there you can see oops, both finished heels. And this yarn is not the best to show off this pattern, but it's not the worst either. And actually it looks pretty good even in a solid color. I think the ones that I like the best that I've seen so far that are finished are a variegated yarn. Trying to find a good spot. So you can see there how the green is like every other space there, and you can see the light pink there too. Let me see what this side looks like. Yeah, see, the green is every other space. That's what happens when you do the Eye of Partridge heel, because you're knitting and slipping stitches. So I think it just creates a really cool effect. And then on the inside of the sock, you're actually going to get a reinforced heel. It's a thicker heel, again, because of the slip stitches. But you can see, I think, maybe I should just turn it all the way inside out. So you can see there what that looks like. And so it really does create a thicker heel, which is going to give you more wear, more comfort. When I first finished the socks and I tried them on, they did feel slightly tighter, but just wearing them for like a minute, stretched out nicely. I feel like it cups my heel great. It's a great fit for me, and I hope that other people are going to find it a great fit as well. I've had the pattern out to testers for a couple weeks now, and there's been several people who have finished the heel and have really liked it and have agreed. So it's always comforting to know that something that works well for you is working well for others also. So, like I said, that pattern is out now on Ravelry. You can do a pattern search for Kiss the Partridge, and you'll see the pattern there. It is available for $1, but I'd like to tell you what you get for that $1 because I think it's a pretty good bargain. Obviously you're getting the heel, you're getting 3 sizes row by row. It's not just a direction, do this, and you have to figure it out. Row by row for a 56 stitch sock, a 64 stitch sock, and a 72 stitch sock. So your 3 basic stitch count socks. You're going to have row by row directions on how to figure that out. The pattern also explains how to figure out the heel if it's not one of those standard sizes. You'll just have to do a little bit more work because it doesn't clearly tell you what to do row by row. The pattern also includes my preferred vanilla sock pattern, which is exactly what this sock is here. And it goes into detail about, I guess it's not so much a pattern, but it's a recipe for a vanilla sock, and also detailed instructions on the rounded toe, just in case you need those. And my preferred vanilla sock is cuff down, so that's what it is. But you can use this this Kiss the Partridge heel. I can't talk today. Kiss the Partridge heel you can do toe up, cuff down. The only thing I will say is if you're going to do it toe up, you may need to knit a few more rounds than you normally would, just because the heel is a bit shorter than others are. So keep that in mind. That's why I find cuff down to be so much easier, because you knit your cuff as long as you want, you do your heel, and then you just knit the foot until you're ready to start the toe. For me, it just takes a lot of the guesswork out of trying to find the right size of sock, and for me, anything that I don't have to guess on and worry about it fitting is great. And I know a lot of people like toe up because they can try it on as they go. So we all have our minds that work a certain way and what works for us. Anything else I want to say about that? I guess I'd like to say thank you to the few people who have purchased the pattern already. It's super exciting to have people buy your pattern and to love it and to see them create something from what was in your mind. So anyway, I'm just blown away, and thank you to you all. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a Ravelry message or an email. My email is included in the pattern. So if you get stuck at all, I want to help you work through it. So, but I have not heard that from anybody that's tested it yet. It's all been straightforward, even some people who are fairly new knitters. So I hope that you also find it to be easygoing. So in addition to my vanilla socks, I also finished a pair of socks for my nephew that was here. And that kid has some chunky little feet. I've never knit kids socks, so I looked online to try and find a pattern. I had no idea how many stitches to use or anything, and I ended up casting on 44 stitches, which obviously is 22 on a needle because I did magic loop. And I was going to show you the yarn that I used, but I'm not sure where it's at. And I'll insert a picture. I don't have them anymore. They went home with him. But anyway, so I started the 44, got partway done with the cuff. I think I even did the heel, tried it on him, and he started screaming. And I was like, okay, these are not fitting. So I had to rip all that out. I started over again with 52 stitches. And let me just say, if I could knit a 44 stitch sock for myself, that would be amazing, because those things were flying by. 52 was noticeably a lot more stitches and a lot more work. But I started over, and I just kind of patterned them off of the socks that he brought with him, which had a pretty short leg, and did the Kiss the Partridge heel and knit the foot. I had to do 52 rows for his foot. He wears, his shoes that he brought with him were a size 8. And again, I know nothing about kids or toddlers or anything like that. But that seems big, because I normally do about 85 stitches for my foot before I start the toe. And so, I don't know, that just seems bigger than I thought they would be. Anyway, got those done, and again, put one finished sock on him, and he started screaming. So, and I know it wasn't because of fit this time. I think he just hates wearing socks. But I sent those home with his mom, and hopefully she can convince him to wear them. I think they're pretty cute, though. They're in Broncos colors, blue, orange, and white, which is his dad's team, so I'm sure it will be his team too. What do I have on the needles? Obviously I have other things on the needles, but I haven't worked on them. So the one thing I have worked on since he left is the Pebble socks, which you aren't going to be able to see much of on this one. But it's the Pebble socks by Mina Phillip, and I do have a finished one, so you can get a yarn mess. Get an idea for the textured pattern. So I'm hoping to get this pair finished by the time my vacation's up, and work on some other things too. And I have that in one of, this is the very first project bag that I made. I made them all last night. This one, the zipper turned out a bit funky. Actually, it closes up great, and it doesn't look funky there. It looks funky when you open it. It just kind of crisscrosses over. So still trying to figure out zippers, but the one that I showed you for the giveaway, this one came out perfect. So clearly I've learned something in the sewing. And these are lined with interfacing. And speaking of interfacing, if any of you have any tips on the iron-on interfacing, I followed the company instructions exactly, and I don't remember what that company was called. It starts with a P, but it said to use a pressing cloth, which I watched a video, and they used a pillowcase soaked in water and wrung out. So that's what I did, and to hold it down with some weight for like 15 seconds. And first of all, the cotton pillowcase started burning. And not like flames burning, but turn brown, which isn't a big deal because I used one I didn't care about, but I thought the interfacing had stuck pretty well, and all the pieces that I put interfacing on I set aside. I think it was a day or two later that I actually sewed them, and you won't be able to see it on this, but like the interfacing didn't really stick very well. It was kind of coming off, which isn't a problem until you start sewing, and the pieces that were really thick when I started to sew, like the interfacing would kind of pull away. Again, it wasn't a big deal because I pinned everything, but it's still, I'm curious to know why that's not really working the way I think it should. Anyway, back to bag one. So this one has a white lining with some gold circles on it, and pumpkins with welcome fall on the outside, and orange on the bottom, orange zipper because orange is my favorite color, and it's fall. And this is another fall theme project bag, just multicolor on the top, fall leaves and acorns on the bottom, white zipper. Again, the zipper came out perfect, which is awesome. And white lining with some gold. I don't really know what those are supposed to be. Kind of reminds me of like a peacock feather. And these are all the same size. And the last fall one has some animals on the top with, again, some acorns and some leaves, and a nice little checked fall color pattern on the bottom. Another orange zipper, which again came out really well. I'm really happy with these. Sewing in a zipper is not the easiest task, at least not for me. And again, white lining with, what are those? Hexagon pattern on the inside. And I've done one of my Christmas bags, which has a ton of sparkle, if you can't tell. So sparkly I can really not even show the texture, but it's got snowflakes. There we go. And the bottom is not sparkle, but has snowflakes on like a gray. And more of the gold dots on the inside. And the zipper came out good. So I don't know. I'm thinking about throwing these in an Etsy shop. I haven't done it yet. I haven't even created the shop yet. So if I do that, I will let you all know. But I'm really enjoying making these. They are a bit time consuming, but I did notice that the more I do, the quicker I get. So just like everything else, practice makes perfect. Just so you know, this bag currently has, among notions, it's got the finished sock, the ball of yarn, and the partial sock for my pebble socks. And you can see it still has a good bit of room at the top. So like I said, good for socks. You could definitely fit another ball of yarn in here and do a 2 skein shawl. I think 3 would probably be pushing it. So I like those, and I realize that the fall season is quickly going away, even though it just started. It won't be here long, so if I do get those in an Etsy shop, it will be pretty soon, I think. I do have some acquisitions, even though I said I was going to be good and not buy yarn. That just doesn't always happen. So I was actually contacted, I'm so not going to remember her name. She's Nordic Stitches. She has a podcast. Her name is Lily. I just can't remember her last name. She's from Norway, and she contacted me on Etsy and wanted to do a swap. So after learning a little bit about her, I realized I didn't have any colors I thought were suitable in my stash for her. So I ordered some yarn for her. It's already on its way. So if you want to see what I sent her, she doesn't have it yet. It just went in the mail today, but she'll have it soon, and hopefully she shows that on the podcast, because I actually just want to know what she thinks of the yarn, but so that you can see it too. Anyway, the yarn that I did order for her is from this company, Yarn Cafe Creations. They are out of Utah, and they have some really gorgeous things on their Etsy shop. And I saw this one, which is called Mermaid Party, and I just couldn't not order something for myself. It's so beautiful. And I pretty much want to have a mermaid party because this is awesome. It's super soft too. This is Believe it or not, this is a 75 superwash 25 nylon. And I'm shocked because it is so fluffy and soft. I would have thought there's cashmere in there. Compared to some other yarns that I have that are the same content, this is amazingly soft. I just don't even know what else to say about it. And also, I just noticed this purple speckle patch right here and had to show it off. There's some yellow on the inside that I didn't see either. It's just gorgeous. I can't wait to knit this up. Another acquisition I had, basically I have a tradition, if you want to call it that. Kind of weird. It's a weird thing to have as a tradition, but every time I go get my hair done, because it's in Astoria, that's where my closest local yarn store is, called, of course I'm totally gonna blank on the name, Custom Threads, that's what it's called, Custom Threads, up in Astoria. I will get my hair cut and then I'll just walk over there, it's a couple blocks away, and get some yarn. So I was looking and looking. Of course I fell in love with so many skeins and had already told myself I was only gonna get one. So this is what I decided on. It's called Wisdom Yarns. This is Pix, which again is 75, 25, 100 grams. And it's called Cake Party. So apparently I just want to have a party because I have mermaid party, I have cake party. But this to me does not look like a cake. This looks like Christmas. And I have zero yarn to be Christmas yarn. I also don't know if I have time to do a pair of socks before Christmas, but that's my plan for this. So that's my justification, Christmas socks. So I don't know how it's going to knit up, but I love it. And lastly, I was on Instagram over a month ago now. Actually, I think, yeah, it was still in August, around my birthday sometime. And I saw this posted, and I think it wasn't even like a regular post. I think it was the stories, Instagram stories. And I was so inspired by this thing I saw that I actually sent them a message, which I never do. And that was to Distracted Knits. You can see her logo there. And this is called Dragonfly Frenzy. And it's a sock blank, if you didn't tell. And it's also sparkle yarn. I think this is my first sparkle yarn ever. Hopefully you can see that. But I just felt, first of all, I love dragonflies. I love the color pink. And this could not be more perfect for me. I absolutely love it and cannot wait to knit this up. Again, if only I had all the time in the world. I don't. In case you didn't know, I do work more than 40 hours a week. Actually, I have a weird schedule. I work 12-hour shifts, and some weeks I'm working 60 hours, and then some weeks I work, if I don't have overtime, I'm working like 24 hours. So every other week I have an easier week, and then every other week I pretty much have a hell week. And that's just the way it goes. So I try and podcast on the weeks that I have a lighter week so that A, I get more stuff done, and B, I just have more time to podcast and get all that done. And my last acquisition, if I can get without making a mess here, is I finally gave in and got, I think this is called an umbrella swift, but it's a swift regardless, from Amazon. It was not expensive. I think it was less than $20. Because I've been doing it just by, I've been winding up all my yarn cakes by putting the skein over a chair, and it still tangles. So I'm really hoping this is going to reduce tangles. Anyways, it seems like it will work just fine. Like I said, I haven't actually tried it on yarn yet though, because I have too many projects and I'm not going to cake something up just to have it sit there. So anyway, what else did I want to say? I don't know. I feel like I haven't really gathered myself yet from having my nephew and from publishing my pattern, and I'm just kind of all over the place, but I definitely wanted to record since I am technically a day late today. But if you have any questions about anything, please contact me, and you can contact me anywhere really. Instagram, Ravelry, or YouTube if you leave me a message in the down bar. And I hope you'll check out my pattern, Kiss the Partridge. Again, I'll say I'm super proud of it and I love it, and I hope you do too. And click subscribe so we can get to 250. All right, thanks guys. Bye.